What's going on, y'all? We are back full power, season 4, episode 2. Look, we knew it, right? Tommy got that la la na na. We knew it. We knew it was going to happen, right? Okay, we're going to get to that. But let's start out from the beginning. So, the episode opens up with Ghost in his cell. We know he got his ass kicked the last episode, so he's in his cell and he's pissing blood. Terrible, right? He's in pain, clearly. And then we got Tasha, Raina, and Tariq over at the apartment. And Tasha's just talking to the kids and telling them that Ghost is not coming home and giving them the rundown on just how to handle themselves about what's going on, and not to talk to anybody about the arrest. Okay. And Tariq ends up asking Tasha about the nickname Ghost. Like, where does that come from? Tasha played it off. She was like, whatever, it's just a hood nickname. Everybody has nicknames in the hood. All right. Then Keisha and Tommy. Keisha shows up at Tommy's house and she's all, she's still hysterical over what's going on, and she says she wants out. She wants their names off of her business paperwork. Tommy's like, no, we can't do that, because if we do that, it's going to send up red flags and the feds are going to be suspicious of it if all of a sudden Tasha's name disappears off of paperwork. Ghost don't get bail, and now all of a sudden Tasha is falling off the grid. We can't do that. So he assures her that he got her. She's straight. Everything gonna be fine. And if we didn't already see it last episode, we definitely saw it here when Keisha was sitting on the couch and Tommy was behind her with his hands on his shoulders, reassuring her, and she gave him this look like, yeah, I'm gonna let you hit it. So anyway, that was that. Now, this next sequence in the episode is this back and forth between Ghost and Proctor and all the feds over at the round table. So Ghost is like, you need to bring up our relationship. And Proctor's like, we can't do that because the jealous ex narrative is just too much. It's going to give them, the prosecution, all the ammo they need. We can't set it up like that. We need to wait on their next moves to determine what we do. And while Proctor is talking to Ghost, he's pretty much playing the devil's advocate. Like, he's playing the role as if he were the prosecution and not defense. And he asked Ghost, did you kill anyone? I forgot exactly what he asked him, but Ghost says, I would never kill anybody in law enforcement. See, Proctor, like, you doing too much. Like, why would you even make that distinction? So you pretty much kicking your own self in the ass right there. So we can't do that. Meanwhile, over at the round table with the feds, so it's Sax, Angie, Mark, and the other, that whole clique. So they all sitting around, and Mark is making the point that they can't either. They can't bring up this whole relationship, this love triangle between Greg Knox, Angie, and Ghost, because then they're all going to have to testify about it, and they're going to have to prove, when they testify, it's going to prove that all of them knew that it was a love triangle going on. So, and that's just going to totally annihilate any chance they have at building this case against Ghost, because of perjury, so they can't go that route. So none of them can get on the stand. They're trying to all avoid this, and this is from two different perspectives. It's from the defense perspective with Ghost and Proctor, and from the prosecutions with the feds. And I like that play back and forth. It really put a nice put that whole narrative into perspective. So that was cool. And in the meantime, Proctor tells Ghost, I'm going to do my part with the media. I'm gonna, make it look real nice. I'm gonna polish it up with the media on my end, and I need you to make these jailhouse phone calls so we can get to the whole you are James St. Patrick and not Ghost, and we need you to make these phone calls to boost that. Okay. Cristobal. So Cristobal is running product for Tommy them, right? But he's over there and he's talking to Toros Locos, I believe that's them, or somebody in that Toros Locos clique. They talking about Ghost and what's going on with that. And the guy in the chair getting a tattoo was like, what's going on with it? Was upper management talking about? And Cristobal's like, they lying. And so it was that whole thing. And then it comes down to Cristobal telling the tattoo dude in the chair that they gonna holler at this other connect, because they running a whole bunch of product through that territory. So with the shit they got going on with Ghost, they not too sure about that. So they gonna get at this other connect. All right, that's gonna come full circle later on. And then back at Truth, Andre is putting old girlfriend up on the scheme with the bottle box service. So when they order 2 bottles of a drink, they get a bottle of drink and they get a matchbox. And we know inside the box, the matchbox is the product. So that's how they got their whole scheme going on. It's this bottle box scheme they got going on. And while they're doing that, Ghost calls Andre. And they doing this whole business rundown thing. Andre's like, I got everything on lock. Don't worry about it. I got you. Cool. So, and did y'all notice the tone in Ghost's voice? He was real businessman like. So he's definitely playing his part and doing what Proctor told him on that end. And Tommy and 718, Julio. Tommy, I'm sorry, y'all. Trying to get myself together. I'm a little tired. Julio tells Tommy about the whole Cristobal thing. And Tommy's like, okay, you need to go handle that, but don't get, because Tommy was ready to go do it. But I think Tommy was ready to go do it, but Julio ends up taking the charge on that. And Tommy's like, all right, go do what you got to do, but don't get all super duper, do what you got to do and make it happen. And we'll see how that also later on in the episode, we'll see how that pans out. Back at the jailhouse, old Ghost is sitting there with eating his biscuit, right? And then old dude slides in and is pretty much pushing up on Ghost and trying to intimidate him at the same time. And when the dude runs his hand over Ghost's shoulder, Ghost very always very smooth knocks his hand off his shoulder, and it looked like he broke his wrist under the table. Teresi, you know who I'm talking about, sees the whole incident and tells dude to beat it. Now hold up, y'all. Lead us down in the comments. Is that dude's name that sat at the table with Ghost? Did Teresi call him Biscuit? I don't know. I thought I heard him call him Biscuit. But anyway, so that situation goes down and Teresi tells Biscuit to beat it. And then he gives Ghost one of these, like, all right. Okay. Then over at Truth, the whole it goes back over to Truth, and we see the whole bottle box, credit card swipe, bottle box, all that's going on real nicely, and Andre's feeling real proud of himself. So that was good. Yeah, so they clocking that coin. They clocking that coin, that ching. Okay. Proctor is interviewing with the media, and he's framing it up to where he's like, Greg Knox was co-conspirating in this case against Lobos, and really painting Jamie out to be not the bad guy. And race comes up, and the reporter asks him, like, do you think this is happening because he's black? And Proctor's like, I don't usually do the race card, but yes, this is what's going on. And so, of course, back at the headquarters, the Fed clique, they not happy about it. Mark storms in the room and is like, do you see this shit? And they're, they like, this shit is gonna poison our jury pool. That's what Angie says. So they start talking about possibly getting a gag order. And but see, then I knew it was personal with Mark and Proctor, because y'all notice when Mark left out the room, he was like, after he mentioned trying to get the gag order and the whole race thing was brought up, he was like, I'm not losing to this son of a bitch again. Speaking of Proctor, so it's personal between them, and I'm curious to see what that's all about. Um, then let's see. Tasha is back with the kids. She's taking them to school. And again, she's giving them the rundown on what to do, how to handle themselves, and reminds them to never call their dad Ghost, because they're going to go visit him at the jail. So she's like, we're being recorded, so do not refer to him as Ghost. And Raina goes head on. She gets out and she goes on to school. Tariq stays in the car. And they're still talking a little bit. And Tasha's like, I'm not going to tell your father about your little drinking incident. Evidently, these new friends you got are a bad influence on you. And when your dad was your age, he had some friends too. And one of them was named Kanan. So have you ever heard of Kanan? And Tariq's like, nah, whatever. And she, at that moment, the man with the camera comes and he's snapping pictures of them in the car, and of course that pisses Tasha all the way off. So she gets out, slams the camera, and Tariq, old smart ass, gonna get out and say, is that how we supposed to behave? Now, Tariq, you a child, but you getting on my nerves. Like, you getting on my nerves. So while they're in school, the kid approaches Tariq and says, is about the gun, and it's like, is that the same gun the gun you brought to school, is that the one your father used to kill that Fed? And Tariq's like, maybe. So I guess he think he hard now. He been hanging with Kanan, so I guess he think he hard now. And Raina's like, yeah, you getting on my nerves, Joe. I don't even know you no more. So Tariq calls Kanan at that moment, and Kanan is still just pumping this boy's head with lies and pretty much manipulating him to continue to get information, and is like moving him around and placing him. It's just like, so eventually when Kanan is ready to make his move, Tariq is his pawn, pretty much. And Kanan tells Tariq that Ghost is guilty of it, and to go ahead and go see him in prison. And Tariq's like, why should I do that? And he like, you a smart kid, play the game, so when we ready to make our move, everything will be in order. this shit gonna explode eventually. And then back at the jail, Terezi sits down with Connie, his wife, and Terezi's like, basically, I got no dough for Ox, right? And Connie's like, I can't keep making this trip by myself or whatever. They just talk, and you could tell Connie is Terezi's Achilles, and he's trying his best from while he's locked up to take care of her because she's sick and she's got this cancer. And he's like, don't worry, I'll get the money, right? And then we got Cristobal, Julio, and Domingo, BG, and Marcus. So Julio's confronting Cristobal about their whole meeting with with the trying to hook up with this other connect. And Julio's like, yeah, you work for us, so when you supposed to pick up product, I'm gonna need you to show up. Domingo gets all the way out of pocket with the whole shit, punches Marcus in the face, and Julio Julio didn't necessarily react the way Tommy thought he should have reacted in that moment. But Julio's like, we make a lot of bread with y'all, and I'm gonna just throw in some extra keys. So are we straight? Are we good? Cristobal says yeah. So that was that. And um back with the gag order, they're meeting with the judge. And basically the judge is like, get the fuck out of here. I don't have time for this, because Proctor's like, the gag order would violate the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and would hinder me from defending my client. Prosecution is like, we can't do this because it's poisoning our jury pool. But the judge is like, you know what, Mark, fuck you. Because you do the shit too, and I'm late for lunch. I'm fucking hungry. I ain't got time for this, and I'm not about to be no damn pawn in this pissing match between y'all. So fuck your gag order. No gag order. So they scrambling. They like, well, we still got the DNA and the fingerprints, but that might not be enough. What else can we get? Sandoval's there. His wheels are turning. So then the feds storm Truth. Now, Sandoval eases his slimy ass upstairs and plants the gun. And let me ask y'all something. Y'all tell me. So I was thinking it would have been too easy for there to possibly have been videotape of Sandoval in there planting that gun. But did y'all see up in the ceiling? It was a camera up, what looked like it most likely was a camera with the smoke tinted dome around it right up there. And if I recall in previous seasons, there was video footage taken from Ghost office when it was a chick that like stole something out of the office, like a card or something. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, did y'all peep that? Leave that down in the comments. The camera up in the ceiling. So, he plants the gun, and Donovan eventually finds the gun hidden in the drawer. So that's so-called the murder weapon. But we all know that that's the pistol that Sandoval was about to throw in the river in the first episode. So we're going to see what happens with that as well. Ghost is... the family visits Ghost at jail. So Tasha has the 3 kids with her, and they sitting down talking. And Ghost tells Tariq he needs to be the man of the house, respect his mother, and take care of everything while he's gone. Ghost reassures Raina that he'll be home soon, and he gets emotional. And he told the kids that one of his proudest accomplishments in life is being their father, and all that emotion welled up in Ghost. We don't really see Ghost like that, but he was crying, and yeah, that's enough to break somebody down, is to be totally helpless. And that's exactly what Ghost is. He's helpless right now. He can't do anything. So yeah. So, and I thought Tariq was going to wild out and say something smart, but I'm glad he didn't. So that was that. And then we had back at the warehouse, Tommy and Petar. They talking. And Pitar's like, I thought you said Ghost would be out. And Tommy's like, chill, I got it, don't worry about it. And Pitar's like, look, I don't want to have to get Chicago involved in this shit. So make sure you take care of it. And BG runs down the whole story about what happened with the incident with Domingo and Marcus. And when him, Julio, and all of them were talking about the whole connect thing. And Tommy gets tight about that, because Tommy don't like that shit. Tommy don't like that shit. So, the piece de resistance. We all know this was the highlight of the episode, because we knew it was coming. Tommy goes over to Keisha's place, and he hit it on the counter. We knew it, right? So, we're going to see how that pans out. It was a bad decision, because we all know Keisha is Tasha's best friend, but we'll see what happens. And Teresi is sitting down with his lawyer back at the jail and talking about, um, gave him the lowdown on who Jamie is and who Tommy is. And something clicked with Teresi because he asked where they were from, and the lawyer says they both were from Queens. So I don't know. I want to see how this comes together. Um, and I'm sorry if y'all hear any music. It's my neighbor. Sorry about that. And then let's see. Back with Tommy and Keisha. So it's the next morning, and Keisha's like, Tasha can't know about us, and Tommy agrees. But Keisha revealed something in that moment when she said, Tasha always takes shit from me. She took Sean from me. Now my business is in jeopardy. And Tommy didn't know about Tasha and Sean. So Keisha tells Tommy that they were smashing and that Ghost knew about it and all of that. So Mark is presenting to the jury on this whole Ghost situation, and he says that Ghost killed Greg on the order of Tommy Egan because Tommy and Greg, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, so he says that Ghost killed Greg on the order of Tommy because they were working for Lobos. So, and the black dude that was in the courtroom in the suit, I believe that's Charlie, because we see that later on. Proctor gets a text from a guy named Charlie about Mark presenting. So he gets that text and everything. And and then in the room they give Donovan a pat on the back for finding the murder weapon or whatever. Tommy and Proctor are talking, and this is after he gets the text about the ADA and everything. And Tommy tells Proctor that they found the gun at Truth, and Proctor's like, I need you to lay low, Tommy, because we can't have all of this going on. Like, they're saying that you gave the order for Ghost to kill Greg, so we can't have you out here ripping and running these streets selling coke. So we need you to lay low. Meanwhile, Tommy slides Proctor some re-up for his wife, but we need you to lay low. Okay, Proctor. I get it though. And Tommy agrees. Tommy's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna keep a low profile, but if I end up getting arrested, I'm gonna kill your ass. So, yeah. So that was that. And then we hop over to Domingo. And of course we knew Tommy was gonna get at his ass. So Tommy yanks him out the car, has a pistol on him, gets him out the car and tells him to run. Tommy chases him down with the car, runs him over, backs over his legs, and it's this sadistic playfulness of Tommy that I personally can't get enough of. Like, I love Tommy's character. I love Tommy. He adds something to this show, and Joseph Sciorra is a great actor. But he plays this role so well, and it's that sadistic playfulness that really brings Tommy to life, because we know Tommy's a crazy motherfucker, but he got good sense when it matters. So he tells Domingo, don't you ever fucking disrespect my organization again. So that he put a pin in that. And then let's see. Tariq and Kanan are over there. I believe it was at Jukebox. I don't know whose place it was, but I believe it was Jukebox. But that's when Tariq asked Kanan or Slim about Kanan, and He's like, you don't have to worry about Kanan. Kanan's dead. And now Tariq, did y'all notice when they got into the apartment after popping the lock, Tariq was all excited talking about, ooh, I'm gonna have to try that myself. Like, he's so naive, but something's going to make a believer out of him real soon, I hope. And I believe that that's probably going to happen this season. So back at the jail, Ghost and Proctor are talking, and Proctor tells Ghost about them finding the gun at Truth, and that whole exchange basically came down to Proctor telling Ghost, I really think you should, I would consider, if I was you, I would consider flipping on Tommy, because this shit is getting real hectic and I can't tell you I can win this shit, because now they've got a murder weapon, DNA, and fingerprints. So they gonna try to get y'all under the Rico statute or the Kingpin. So I would strongly consider flipping, but we all know that it's not gonna go that simple. If he flips it all, I don't think it's gonna happen. So back with Tommy, outside of his apartment, we see somebody put a tracker on Tommy's car. Tommy's upstairs and Kate shows up, and they have this weird codependent dysfunctional relationship that I'm here for. It's weird, but we need it. For some reason we need others that side of Tommy. Like, so yeah, I just noticed that, because when the exchange was done, after Tommy gives Kate the keys to the car and tells her, if I do get knocked, you know where the money is. So when they on their way out the door, he like she's like, oh fuck you, because he said, if you burn my clutch out, we gonna have problems. She was like, fuck you. He was like, well, fuck you. And they hug each other. So the fuck you is almost like, I love you, mom, I love you, son. Crazy but good. And then so he has to run downstairs because he got a text from BG that he was gonna be outside in 5. So Kate takes the car, drives off with the car with the tracker on it. Tommy goes down and meets BG, and BG hands him a brick of cash. Angie and Mike, they meet outside the office, and Angie is like, this gun situation is making me uncomfortable. He wouldn't have left no gun at Truth. I think he did it just to beat his case. Sandoval's ass is like, you're overthinking it, Angie. I'm sure he meant to get rid of the gun, but he got arrested before he had a chance to, blah, blah, blah. He's covering his ass. No attention is on Sandoval yet, but it's coming. And Mark shares the news of the indictment and the death penalty. So Angie's like, God damn, it's steady coming back. Like, what the fuck? What did I do? Because I don't really think she meant for it to go this far, but she set the wheels in motion. So this is what we dealing with, right? All right. And then she wanted to go into the strategy meeting, but Mark was like, hell no, I'll keep you posted, bitch, whatever, beat it. And then Proctor and Ghost are back again talking, and Proctor gives him the news of the death penalty. And of course, it's not good. You can see it on Ghost's face. Tasha gets the call about the death penalty. It's all in her face, and it's this is all resonating with the title of the episode. Things are going to get worse, and this is the worst of the worst. No one ever expected that this shit right here would be happening. So here we are. And CO Charlie is escorting Ghost on that death row walk, and he's antagonizing him the whole time, telling him it was 45. The last time I saw this, it was 45 minutes before the nigga actually died. You have a heart attack. You shit on yourself. You're completely conscious. Just really, really antagonizing Ghost about it. And then we have Angie and Tasha again in this face-to-face interaction. Angie tells Tasha that Greg was her boyfriend. Now, Angie, you would never want. She was all gung ho about Jamie, so she gave Greg the brush off. Greg was all on her and Jamie, and she filed a complaint and all of this bullshit. And then when Ghost dumped her, then she was all back up in um Greg face, like letting Greg hit it and everything. Now it's just too much. Now she dumped, and now she being vindictive, and so now all of a sudden it matters that Greg was her boyfriend. So she tells Tasha that. Tasha's like, he wouldn't have never killed no cop. And bitch, I know that for a fact. He never even mentioned no Greg Knox to me. So, Tasha is like, bitch, if you wasn't a cop, I swear I'd kick your ass all over this apartment. And Angie all bold, but I am. Child, please. Whatever. So Tasha is on her way out, and Angie's like, for what it's worth, I wish I never ran into him that night. And Tasha's like, bitch, me neither. So cry me a river, Angie. Like, get the fuck out of here. You knew what you were signing up for. You knew what you were signing up for. It didn't go how you wanted it to go. Y'all didn't end up all crazy in love and with a family and everything of your own after you tried. And now, bitch, you got the nigga locked up and he on fucking death row. So, all right. Kanan and Andre. Kanan suspects Andre of telling Tariq about that he's Kanan. So he got the nigga all up in the neck, choking him, little face turning red and everything. And Andre's like, I didn't tell him nothing, Joe. Like, I'm paying you to stay away from Tariq. So what the fuck? And Kanan's like, nigga, you made too many enemies, so now you paying me to keep you alive. All right. Then the final scene, Ghost calls Tommy from jail and tells him about the death penalty. And Tommy's like, that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna take care of everything. And Ghost says, I need you to take care of my family or whatever. And I believe that there's a duality going on. Like, in that statement, with Ghost telling Tommy to take care of his family, I believe he means that literally. But the way this show always pans out, I think that there was some sort of underlying meaning in that. And just to look in Tommy's face, Tommy now knows what he has to do. So all these different things going on, all these different storylines are converging on each other, and there's going to be a flashpoint. Like, all of this shit is definitely going to come to a head, and I'm here for it. I love this show, Power. I just like it. It's really, really well written. It's well, all the actors are great. I love this show. I can't wait to see episode 3. And look, make sure you guys leave your comments down below. If I missed something, leave that down below. Any questions, leave that in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Turn your notifications on so you can get more of me and these episode reviews. I will be back with Queen Sugar next week, and I will be back also next Sunday for episode 3 of Power. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next episode review.